keep these media availabilities rolling. We will continue with Kyle Larson, driver of the number 5 Chevrolet for Hendrick Motorsports. We'll start down here with Lee. We'll go to Al, and Trenton, and then Bob.
Lee Spencer, Sirius XM NASCAR Radio. Can you take us through your win last year at North Wilkesboro, what it meant to win at such a historical place?
Yeah, no, it was awesome. I got to compete in the truck race as well, and had a great race. It was great to win there in the truck, and then for the Cup race that weekend, we were. I think it was extra special just to win there, but for how our weekend was before the race, made it even more special because we were not competitive. I didn't think at all. We were really, really bad, and didn't practice well. I think we were quickest on lap time, but over the course of a run, we were really bad. So practice wasn't good. Didn't do great in the pit stop thing. Heat race, backed it up, fell back, and really, was just kind of frustrated with how the weekend was going. But the team, obviously they were working hard and recognized that we were really bad and threw a bunch of changes to it for Sunday's race. And, I could feel pretty early on that we had a competitive car. And then, it cruised up through the field and dominated the race. So, to win was great. Win $1 million was awesome. But then to win at a historic racetrack that, I never envisioned myself racing at was pretty neat. So to sweep that weekend was cool.
And despite your crazy schedule that weekend, right, how will this race be different? I mean, with the repave and the tire situation?
Yeah, I haven't I wasn't a part of that test, but I think William was, and they just said how fast it was. So I imagine that it'll be harder to pass for sure, which, it's always difficult to pass on a repave. But I feel like repaves open up opportunity because the groove is so narrow, and typically when you get out of the groove, it's very slick. So there could be a lot of mistakes made, which opens up opportunity. But we'll see. I don't know what to expect yet.
Yeah, Kyle, Al Pearson Motor Week. I hate to bring up a worst case scenario, but I need to ask you, if the Indy 500 starts on time and you're well into it and it rains briefly, who makes the call on whether you stay at Indy or come to Charlotte? That's a worst case scenario.
Yeah, hopefully that doesn't, arise, but I'm not sure who the one is to make that call, or I'm sure there's a window of time that when it probably gets to a certain point, I have to leave because the Coke 600 is the priority that weekend, and chasing another NASCAR championship is the priority. So I just hope that it doesn't come about. But I think Tony Kanaan's there for reserve if something like that does happen, to fill in for the 500. But just pray that that doesn't happen.
We'll go to Trenton, Bob, Cameron, Jordan.
Hey, Kyle. Trenton Warsham, FrenchStretch.com. There's a lot of focus these days about mental health and everything. With your schedule getting busier and busier with the Indy 500 prep and the Coke 600 prep, Harvick helping out the team next weekend a little bit. How are you staying mentally strong and sharp during the month of May, basically, when all these things are finally, overlapping and coming together like this?
I don't know. I think I stay prepared for things like this because I race all the time. So, these next 2 weeks, honestly, I feel like are simpler than most of my weeks. I'm in Indiana for a full week, and I'm behind one certain type of car for the majority of that week. So a lot of times, my schedule in the summer will get crazy, where I'm racing on a Sunday, then, flying to go race a sprint car one day, then driving 3 hours to go race a dirt late model, and then, in something else that weekend. So I think times like that probably prepare me for the month of May more than anything. But I think having good people around you too, and having good organized logistics help as well.
Go to Bob, then Cameron, then Jordan.
Bob Pockris, Fox Sports. So was going to Paris a part of the mental ability, or was there something about the air in Paris that'll help you for stamina for 1,100 miles?
No, I mean, I had never gone to Europe before, and it lined up nice where we had a small little window to make it there, and it was my daughter's birthday, so she's been wanting to go see Paris, or not Paris, but Taylor Swift, and I've been wanting to go to Europe, and it worked out. So I kind of crashed that party because originally it was supposed to be like a girls' trip, and I wanted to go, so I crashed the party a little bit. But no, it was fun to go and see a new place, and you get to see that concert and just kind of see how the world is different a little bit on that side of the country. So yeah, it was a good time. Good to kind of get sort of one little, I guess, last bit of relaxation maybe before a hectic couple weeks. But yeah, was good that it all worked out, and weather was good in both places.
We'll go to Cameron, then to Jordan, then to Dustin.
Cameron Richardson, NASCAR.com. Following off of Bob's question, when you do get to see someone that's highly regarded in their field outside of racing, and you're a spectator, what do you sort of take away from it, if you take anything away from it at all?
I don't really know what I took away from it other than it was just a great show, and I mean, that place was packed full of people from all around the world too. Like it wasn't just French people there. Like it was, all different types of people. So just seeing, like the show is cool, but I get like intrigued on, like I was telling Caitlin yesterday, they had that Eras Tour movie or whatever, which kind of really got me excited about wanting to go see something like that. But like, I want to see the behind the scenes of like how they keep the show moving so smoothly and all that. So, yeah, it's just, it was fun. It was a really cool experience for sure.
Jordan Bianchi, The Athletic. You a Swiftie?
Yeah. Good question. No, I feel like a Swiftie, you got to wear the bedazzled everything. And, so no, I don't feel like I'm a Swiftie at all. I do appreciate her music and how hard she works. But no, I'm not a Swiftie. There was lots of men dressed very uniquely at that concert, and I had the T-shirt, and Caitlin gave me a couple friendship bracelets to put on, so that was as close as I was getting.
All right, two more serious questions for you. You mentioned Tony Kanaan is your reserve driver for the Indy 500. We know Harvick's going to be in the car for practicing in the All-Star race. Do you have a backup driver in case something happens and you can't make it for the All-Star race, or you can't make it for the 600? Who's going to be in that car and racing?
No, I haven't heard that yet. So no, I don't know. I'm not sure. I guess maybe those are all last-minute calls. I think we're all probably just like trying to manifest a perfect weekend in our minds. So. Maybe behind the scenes they've been working on that, but I think it all depends on some weather and stuff, kind of forecasting what that might look like, and maybe plans will change, but no, I don't know.
Obviously, we have an option tire next week for North Wilkesboro. It's an experiment. Is that something you'd like to see on a regular basis in the Cup Series, on ovals and road courses where teams have an option to go hard or soft compounds?
Well, I think it just depends on how it goes next week. I don't really. Yeah, assuming it goes well. I don't know, because I don't know what well looks like. So, I'm not sure. I mean, if it's great, then yeah. I mean, maybe we can utilize it, but I really don't know until I get some experience on it. I remember we ran, I guess, was it the All-Star race however many years ago? I think we had an option tire, and I don't know if we all had it on at the same run or even how it works next week, but like, I don't remember it being any different. So I think it's got to be like drastically different for you to notice a difference on the racetrack. So we'll see. Hopefully that's what it is next week.
Go to Dustin.
Dustin Long, NBC Sports. being able to do something that not many people get to do here in the next few weeks, what are you looking most forward to, or even even intrigued about what these next couple weeks might be like?
I don't know. I think for me, I don't like think about that a whole lot. I think more about just, I get excited about learning new things and being presented a new challenge, which, an IndyCar is a new challenge, and learning that style of racing a little bit, seeing what translates some, racing against other drivers that, I've watched on TV for quite a while or whatever. Like, that's kind of what I get most excited about, is just trying to all that, but mostly like just learning and seeing how quickly you can learn and if you can be competitive. And then I think if you can do a good job with all that, then all the other stuff, that would be seemed as more important, in the result end of things would be great. But I think I'm just excited to learn something new.
Also, going back to the finish last week, when Chris made his move into 3 that allowed you to have the outside, did you feel like at that point, okay, this is perfect because now I'm going to win it because I'm on the outside like that? Or even if he'd gone the outside, I guess you could have gone down and done a slide job type of thing. I mean, how did that change how you looked at it when he took essentially the middle, and how did you feel like opened it up, or you were like, I'm going to go here anyway?
I was planned going to the outside no matter what. I honestly thought that like he would just run, low and fast, kind of run the shorter distance. So when he kind of ran the middle, I was like, oh yeah, like, wow, here we go. But it wasn't until I got exited off of the corner, like to the straightaway, that I thought, oh, we still have a shot here. Like, I still thought that, like, when I initially got there, I thought he was going to throttle up and kind of like not move me up, just like I wasn't quite there enough, I thought. It's weird, like when you watch a replay, it looks different than what like you see in the helmet. So I remember like when I kind of like throttled up to try to get to his quarter, I thought that he was going to be able to throttle up and like just clear in front of me, and then I would get aero tight. But when I stayed there, I still was like, all right, now I'm crashing because I'm just in a awkward spot here with aero, and the way that turn 4 kind of sharpens up on exit. I just thought I was going to run out of space. Not even like him doing anything dirty or egregious or anything like that, but he left me, enough room and all that. And yeah, we got off the corner, and then it was just about like how the run was going to work out. And thankfully it barely worked out.
One other thing is a lot of times you guys get more credit than maybe you deserve at times, and sometimes you get more of the blame than you deserve at times. I mean, this is still a team sport. When you're in a situation like that, and obviously for Chris, it's easy to say he lost it, and there's always this. You guys always have to look at yourselves each week, or the team's looking at things. How tough of a situation is it, even with all the self-critical thinking you have to have, if you feel like you've lost it, and how do you get through something like that? And what would be a case where it lingered for you?
Yeah, I mean, I've definitely lost plenty of races, late in the going. I feel like then I've won. So yeah, it's tough, you especially in a finish like that. Yeah, like you think about it a lot, you overthink it, you think there's many different ways you can think about running the last lap to have a different result where you win. And I think you just have to kind of process all those different scenarios in your head and log it, and then try to just be better for the next time a situation, if it ever happens, occurs like that. So, and then you got to just try to move on from it, which is difficult, but the best way to move on from things is just to get back behind the wheel. So that's what's always been good for me, when I've had tough races or good races, I've always seems like I've got a race, a day or two later. So I don't kind of ride that wave too much, or the wave is quicker, I guess, which kind of steadies me out maybe a little bit. But yeah, it's tough. Losing like that is very difficult. But he seems like a very kind of even keel guy that probably doesn't let it linger too long.
We'll take one final question from Matt in the back.
Matt Weaver, Sportsnaut. With Corey Day starting to dabble in the pavement world a little bit, running the late model stock car, one, what can you tell the NASCAR community about Corey as a racer, and are you involved even like in a just talking to him role and getting him acclimated to maybe pursuing this?
Yeah, I mean a little bit, but I feel like he's kind of a lot like me in that sense where, like I've never really reached out to anybody like, hey man, I'm getting ready to run this. Like even the IndyCar, like, hey, I'm getting ready in the IndyCar. Like, what do I need to do or look out for? Like, I've always tried to just figure things out on my own, and he seems to be the same way. So yeah, it was cool to see him go, have a good run at Hickory. Obviously the invert and all that kind of worked out for him, but it was cool to see him, adapt to something new. I think that was his first time on pavement that weekend, but he's just an extremely great race car driver, and he's only 18. He's got a ton of experience. I feel like when I've obviously paid a lot of attention to him now the last few years, and he's just continued to get better and better each weekend, basically. But watching his style is like, I feel like I that's what I look like a lot out there, with how hard he runs, and he's probably. I was not that in control at 18, but he's very in control with how hard he runs. He's very calculated. I feel like he makes really smart, quick decisions out there on the track. So yeah, I hope he gets opportunities at this level to showcase his abilities, and I'm sure there's lots of teams and manufacturers and organizations that are after him. So he's in a great spot. So I'm excited to kind of see where his career ends up. And, yeah, it'd be fun getting to compete with him, not only on the sprint car side, but hopefully, on the NASCAR side of things down the road.
Thank you.
All right, Kyle, thanks for your time today. Good luck this weekend.
All right, there's the checkered flag. Great job, driver.